Hello guys, so today we are going to see a short video on how to make deem koru. So this is a typical Bengali dish, and the deem is an addition which I prefer the most because it's very easy and it gives a little bit of a factor to my non-veg tongue. So the ingredients that we are going to need, the recipe goes as far as the recipe goes, we're gonna need some chilies. I prefer a lot of chili, I like it spicy, and tomatoes, of course, onion, potatoes, garlic, and a little bit of ginger. We also need turmeric, but I'll pretty much show that when I start adding the masalas. Anyway, we're going to chop this up and I'll keep you updated. So I've chopped it all up and the order that we go in is first goes the oil and then the spices along with ginger and turmeric, and you can also add in jeera along with ginger, and then goes the onions, because onions make up most of the gravy, and then you fry the potatoes all pieced out properly and uniformly in the oil which has already the onion mixed in properly. And finally you add in the tomatoes, and I'll also be showing you when and how much to add. I'm talking about the masalas, of course. So yeah, let's get started with it. So I've put in oil into it, and I've added a little extra because at the end we need to add the egg into it, hence the name deem koru. And the first thing that we need to do is we need to add in the spices, the chili, the garlic, and along with it we also need to add jeera. Jeera really helps in forming the taste, and I'll be telling you when to add what ingredient into it as we go along. So guys, as you can see that I've added in the spices. This is a mix of chili, ginger, garlic, and of course you have your jeera. So this is the jeera that I'm going to add. This is not any advertisement, but this is a jeera that I use and I like the quality that it has. So notice how much I'm going to add, because I'm not a professional in all this, so I don't know how to exactly tell you the quantity that I'm adding, but it's upon your preference really, guys. It's upon how much jeera you want to taste in your overall the dish that you're making. That's how much I'm going to add. I like a little bit of extra jeera because I like the taste of jeera, and it helps some benefits that we see in here. So that's about it. And the next step that I'm going to do is, after it's all fried out, the next thing that I'm going to add to the dish is onions, because onions we need to add onion pretty quick, because onions actually make the most of the gravy. It's the main component of the gravy that we eat. Okay, let's go and add the onions. So chop up the onions really nice, so as to get a better taste. That would be a tip from my side, but at the end, as I said, it's all upon your preference. So guys, as you can see that I've already added the onions, and now I'm going to add the potatoes. And I say that I'm going to add it right now, but there's a reason behind it. Well, you are supposed to add the onion, the potatoes into the onion when you start seeing a little bit of tint. So I don't know if the video is very clear, or how you're seeing it, or how it's being shown on your phone or whatever device you're using, but there's a little bit of tint that I can see, and yeah, it's about time that we add the potatoes. So after adding the potatoes, you mix it pretty well, and when you can see that all the potatoes have a little bit of oil on them and they are completely oiled up properly, then you start adding the masalas. And this is the main part where you sort of add all the masalas. I'll keep you updated. Yep. So as you can see that I've already added the onions, and I'm already done with adding the potatoes too. And If you can notice that the potatoes are showing a good shine, that is indicating that they are all oiled up properly and they have mixed properly with the oil, and they are ready to take in the masalas. And these are the masalas that I'm going to add right now. I'm going to show you a little bit of them. So this is lal mirch for the color and not so much about for the taste. The next masala is chicken curry, and you can also use garam masala. I use this because it's a non-veg dish, and I prefer not using garam masala or chicken masala in a vegetarian dish. The reason is very commonsensical, I suppose. And the last one is turmeric powder, as I had already mentioned before. So yeah, let's go on. One thing that I want you to notice is that I haven't exactly peeled the potatoes. This is because when the potato is like it's not old, you can actually use a Scotch Brite and just clean off the dirt of the potatoes, and you can keep the skin, and it gives it a good roast. It gives it a good taste. It's upon my preference. I am doing it that way. If you want to peel off the if you want to peel the potatoes before cooking it, it's completely on you. So you can see that I've added the masalas. I've added them separately so that you can make out somewhat how much the quantity should be. And it's a rough calculation, guys. So this is red chili powder, as I've shown you. This is garam masala or chili powder, as you may presume. I've also used a little bit of garam masala, but it's almost a substitution. And the last thing is that's turmeric. So you can see that I've not used a lot of masalas, and I prefer not using a lot of masalas. And I follow a good rule in cooking. It's that little is more. Okay, so now I'll be mixing it up, and yeah, I'll keep you updated. Well, the next, before I let you go, the next ingredient that goes in is tomatoes. I'll tell you when to add it. Let me just mix it up first. Almost forgot, guys. So after mixing the masalas, you add in the salt. I don't use a lot of salt. It affects the blood pressure and stuff. You can read it online and learn about it. But this is how much salt I'm gonna add. This is how it goes. So guys, as you can see that after I had added in salt, I've also added the tomatoes now. The tomatoes are also pieced out pretty small and pretty uniformly, because they also make a good they are also a good to a good extent the part of the gravy. You don't end up with like really large chunks of and pieces of tomatoes at the end. At the end you expect the gravy to have a color of the tomatoes, and that is why you need to chop it up really nice so that it mixes well and becomes the gravy, and you can taste the gravy and you realize that the gravy has tomatoes. Anyways, so I'll let it sit in over there, and my cooker is on the minimum settings, and I'm gonna let it sit in for about 5 minutes. And after 5 minutes, I'm gonna add a little bit of water to get the gravy, and along with it, I'm gonna add a little bit of ginger garlic paste, which I have right there. And yeah, that's about it. I might also add in a little bit of pudina. Is this pudina or dhania? Okay, that's dhania. Sorry. So yeah. So guys, as you can see, I've also added the gravy, and along with it I've also added the dhania, and I'm pretty much done except for the last step, that is adding the adding the eggs to it. And that's gonna happen only after the gravy has dried out, and only a little bit of gravy, a dense amount of gravy is going to be left out. And I cannot be showing you that step because I cannot be recording and breaking the egg and adding to it at the same time. But yes, I will show you when I'm done adding the egg to it, before mixing, of course. So guys, I've already added the eggs. As you can see, the gravy has all dried out, and there's a little bit of gravy left, and that is when you add the eggs. And if you can notice properly, then I've added 2 eggs. And now what you do is that you wait and stir and wait for another 3 or 4 seconds. It might be different for different stoves that you might be using. And the reason you need to wait and stir and not stir and mix it continuously is because you want the egg to stick to the potatoes properly and not just mix with the gravy. That's gonna happen eventually. So you mainly want the egg to stick to the outer surface of the potatoes. Okay. That's pretty much it, guys. It's done with. And yeah, I'll just show you how it ends up and keep you updated. Guys, this is how it ends up looking. You can notice there are small chunks of the egg that have mixed well, and then there are some potatoes which have formed the outer layer with the egg. So I'm just gonna mix it well, and this is pretty much it. Try it out by yourself, and you might fail a few times, but the next time you're gonna do it perfectly. And it tastes really nice. As I have already mentioned, it's a good substitute for the non-veg dishes that we are not being able to have right now due to the pandemic. Thank you, guys. Bye. So guys, this is finally what you can expect the dream go to look like, and this is pretty much it. This is done with, and yeah, this is a good substitute, as I've already mentioned multiple times, and it tastes really nice. It is very simple to make, so try it out on yourself, and yeah, stay safe and stay at home. Bye. This is all.